Hey everybody, Frank from the Frankie Duty channel. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. So tonight's video is essentially going to be about Charcloth. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Charcloth, it is a man-made material that comes from 100% cotton clothing, kind of like the shirt I'm wearing tonight here. It's cut up into little squares or rectangles, and it's put in some kind of a metal container. I used Altoid tins, and then those Altoid tins or the metal containers are put into a fire, and they're there for 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes more if need be. And it's burned at an elevated temperature in the absence of oxygen because it's actually in the tin, and it chars the material through decomposition. And it doesn't actually burn it completely because, again, it's in the absence of oxygen. So the long and short of it is, the end result after it's burned and cooled down is a highly combustible material that's great for fire starting. So if you guys have ever tried to use hand steel and flint to start a fire, Charcloth is super ideal for starting a fire that way, because when you get a spark off of the flint, then you're able to catch it with the Charcloth and it can be ignited with a single spark, and it'll give you time to get that Charcloth that's been ignited over to your tinder bundle or your bird's nest and get a fire started. So I made two types of Charcloth. Usually I use a cotton t-shirt, but I actually started to use denim, like blue jeans, and it works really well. Let me show you guys on the camera the difference between the two. Alright guys, so I got two Altoid containers here. One of them I used 100% cotton t-shirts, just kind of like the t-shirt I'm wearing. I cut it up into small rectangular pieces, put it in here, threw it in the fire, and burned it for, only takes I think like 10 minutes or so, but I burned them a lot longer than that. Anyway, here's what we were working with that comes out of that. So it gives you nice pieces of Charcloth, and they're pretty thin. They're kind of brittle. You can see they rip really easy, which, it's kind of hard to avoid that given what it is. But I recently tried out denim jeans, an old pair of jeans that were ripped that I saved. I cut them up into small, again, rectangular pieces, put them in the Altoids container, and here's what we got. So let's see here. So you can, might be hard to tell from the camera, but these are much thicker and just more durable, less brittle pieces of Charcloth. Let's see if I can get some texture to that on the camera for you guys. So it's much stronger than like the 100% cotton t-shirts. And you know what, it makes sense obviously because denim jeans, they're cotton, but they're just threaded much stronger, they're stitched much stronger, and before you char them, they're just a stronger type of fabric, so it makes sense. But I think that so far denim jeans are the best thing I've found for making Charcloth. Here's a piece of the denim Charcloth that I was talking about. Here's my flint. My plan is, I'm going to show you guys what this stuff looks like once it catches a spark. Seems like using this denim Charcloth, it seems to hold the ember a little bit better and distribute it more widely. Since this stuff doesn't rip quite as much and it's more densely threaded, I think it's a little bit harder to get it to catch a spark. But I think that once the spark's there, it's a little bit more ideal for actually getting an ignition in the bird's nest or a tinder bundle. So I have like a little makeshift tinder bundle here full of jute twine that I ripped apart. Nice and ideal looking, pretty open, everything spread apart. There'll be a lot of edges and angles for this Charcloth to catch. So I figured I'd do this on camera for you guys. Alright, so we got the Charcloth to light. See? You guys can see it holds the edge or the spark pretty well. Alright. Pretty wide. Good bit of heat coming off that, just like all Charcloth. And Here's my tinder bundle. Go ahead and get it in the center. All right. That's it, guys. Alright, that's how the Charcloth works. So I like this Charcloth. I think it's actually an upgrade from the regular, t-shirt, 100% cotton. I look forward to using this as a fun way to start fires. If you guys are interested, if you have time, try making some Charcloth out of denim jeans and let me know what you think. Or if you have done it, chime in on the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video.